in just 3 steps, I'm going to make you the sharpest speaker you've ever been. And I know that sounds like I'm bragging, but I promise you, I have had the privilege to do this for a while. I've been involved in debates, heavy-duty debates. I've worked on the radio, served as the speaker, Faculty of Law, Lagos State University for a whole year. I've had to do impromptu speeches. I've had to speak to people bigger than me, if I may say, and I've had to do so on an impromptu note, no preparedness. Plus, I have had to read the news before. These are not things that I've had to tell anyone on this channel ever before, but I believe in declaring who you are if you must teach anything. Let me believe that you are capable, and that's why I had to do that. Come with me. Let's start with the third thing. We need to replace the ums, as, replace them with silence. That's going to sound something like, you know, yesterday I was looking at this matter and I realized that get comfortable with the silence. Yesterday I was thinking about it, and frankly, it can be daunting to face. There is not one thing on earth that prepares you for it. You will be scared nearly to death. Get comfortable with the pauses. There's no pressure to ever feel any silence when you're speaking, because something that people don't know is that silence adds beauty to sound. They create those moments where people can stop and think, where you can regain the attention of a lost audience, and where you yourself get a second to think and quickly get your thoughts together. Another problem with doing the ums, the as, the is it becomes difficult when you now have to give a formal speech to do without them. You may think, well, when I'm dealing with my friends and family, it doesn't really matter, and I agree, it doesn't really matter. Even I still do that sometimes. But the problem begins when you now have to give a formal speech and cannot do without them. Non-words, ums, as, filler words like actually, so I actually went there yesterday, and actually, or like you know, like those ones that like seem pink and like girl. Second thing that we are going to fix is your articulation. There are 3 sides to this. 1, intentionally enunciate every word and sound. 2, keep the energy levels the same, or at least be in control of when it drops so that it's intentional. And 3, let your natural sense of style shine through. Sorry to interrupt your video. If you're watching and loving it so far, please hit the like button. It's the only way that the platform knows that somebody actually likes the video. If you don't interact with it in the comments, if you don't engage with it, if you don't subscribe as a result of the video, the platform interprets that to mean that you don't like it, nobody likes it, and so they're not going to recommend it to more people. But if you do, they think maybe somebody likes the video, maybe it may help 1 or 2 people, and so they recommend it to more people. Thank you. Let's get back into the video. With intentionally enunciating each word, for most of us, the English language may not have been your first language. So chances are that, except you are somebody who transcribes, transcription, by the way, refers to writing the sound version of a word. For example, word, W-O-R-D, will be w-d, z, if plural. But if you're not able to do that, chances are that you'll be pronouncing every word like the people that you grew up with. And there's nothing wrong with that. You may want to get the pronunciations correctly, but it's more important that you fix the enunciation. Here's why. When you start focusing on particulars without even fixing the general, you mix things up. So take the time to say table. Even if in the middle of a conversation, you most likely will say table. Table. That immediately takes the table is right there to the table is right there. Big difference. TED Talk worthy. Next, and with maintaining the energy level throughout a conversation, you will sound like I've just sounded. Being in control of that energy is also an option. What that means is that you choose when to drop the energy, and that can add so much beauty to the sound, like I've just done. And then everyone has a sense of style. The way that you dress, your choices when you fix your hair, when you choose the hairstyle, when you cut your hair, can shine through your sound. And that's the authenticity bit that I find many people missing out on because they're under so much pressure to speak the language well or to use the language well. No pressure. Let's get the articulation right first. And let's be authentic through it. You can start by just speaking naturally as you would. And then we can do a retake where you say the same set of words, but practicing enunciation. Can we do that? Okay. What's something you like to do generally?
Rugby.
Rugby. Okay. Tell them something nice about rugby.
Basically, rugby is like, okay.
Yeah, you're allowed to do like, we're not practicing non-words and filler words.
Rugby is like, it's fun and it's like, it involves a lot of running and like, you have to focus so much. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So now you are going to tell them the same thing, but you'll be practicing enunciation. So the way that's going to happen is you want to deliver, but with more power, by simply opening up your mouth some more and saying each word, especially the ones that matter the most, clearly. Can you do that?
Okay. So rugby is fun and it involves a lot of running and you have to focus a lot so you know how to pass the ball.
Look at that. I'm going to push you a bit further. You have gone from 1 to 2. We're going to move you from 2 to 3. So the same thing that you've just said, but try to do it as I'm doing. It doesn't have to come out like mine, but with clearer sounds, your words, take your time to deliver it. Use your hands, if you will. Use your neck, use your hair, if you will.
Basically, rugby is fun and it involves a lot of running and you have to focus so you know how to pass the ball properly.
So hi guys. So as you can tell, I really love fashion. It's a part of me because it like showcases my creativity, and also it's a way to express yourself. It's a way for like when people meet you for the first time, you can kind of tell exactly the type of person you are, and it makes you either stand out in society or you blend in, which I can do depending on what mood I am. And I can also tailor my outfit depending on my mood, the weather, or basically what I want to achieve that day.
Now we're practicing same thing that you said, but with more open-mouthedness and with more power.
Okay.
Yeah. Take 2.
So basically, fashion is a way for me to showcase.
Sorry, can you open the mouth? Say each syllable with power and with clarity.
Okay. So basically, fashion is a way for me to showcase my creativity. It's a way for like when I go into society, people can kind of see the type of person I am. It's also a way that I can either blend in or stand out, and people can tell the type of person I am based on what I wear. I can determine what style I want to go for depending on the weather or depending on my mood.
Did you see that? Did you see the difference? And finally, I'm going to teach you the 3-2-1 trick in communication. So you start with the one thing about there are 2 ways or 2 types of 3 major effects, and that fixes the problem of not knowing what to say or not knowing where to start, especially when it's an impromptu conversation, or even if you've had time to prepare, there still will sometimes be that moment of stumbling or just falling off or not being sure and whatever else. For example, let's pick a random topic, shoes. The one thing about shoes is that they protect your feet. 2 types of shoes that you can choose: leather, especially when it's really cold, they provide some degree of heat and that can keep you warm, or you can choose rubber slippers or rubber shoes. Those ones are particularly good for when it gets hot because they allow a lot of air and coolness to get into the feet. 3 ways that you can style your shoes are with your formal outfit, with your outgoing party outfit, or even on a casual day, you can still wear shoes. 3, 2, 1, or if you prefer, 1, 2, 3. It gives you content, it gives you structure, and puts you on a drive. Just so that I'm not the only one, let's go experiment that with someone else. Practice center.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about writing. I like writing because it gives me peace, comfort, and it allows me to express myself in other ways that I don't usually express myself when talking to my peers, family, or friends. Writing also helps me to think out of the box, to explore my imagination, and I find comfort in it. Also, the advantages of writing that I've discovered are that it improves your vocabulary and it helps you also to become more creative because, like, for example, when I write, I could just generally write about how the day was, or maybe write a story about something I thought of, and it helps me to like think out of the box and even express myself. And also, it also improves storytelling. Like when you're standing in front of a crowd and you're telling people a story, like you can transfer those skills that you've learned from writing onto social speaking as well.
Brilliant. So we're giving it structure. Start with something punchy. The one thing, what's the most important thing about writing for you?
It calms me down.
Beautiful. The one most powerful thing about writing is that it calms me down.
Okay.
She's going to do take 2. She's going to blow your minds. So get ready, everybody.
Hi everyone. My favorite thing to do is writing. Writing calms me down. I find peace in it because there's so much stress in life every day. So many things happen. So when I sit down in a quiet room and just get my pen and book and just start writing, I shut everything out. Like everything just gets out of my mind and I start writing and I feel the sense of peace and it relaxes me, it comforts me. Sometimes when I write, I also have soothing background music because it also helps with, to clear my mind and helps me think properly. The main thing that also stands out when I write is that it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I feel like that's also my stronghold.
Did you see that big difference? The 3, 2, 1 is just indicative of the fact that you must be speaking on something that you already know about. And if you don't, you have a duty to go learn about it. There is no magic that the 3, 2, 1 will do if you've never heard of the subject. And you need structure to be able to deliver your sound or your thoughts. So the structure could be anything else, just whatever puts you on your toes and helps you run. Some people like to leave bullets in the notes. Some people will just have a mental skeleton of how they want the conversation to go or what they want to say, or just things to remind them that this is next and this is next. Cues, if you may. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're able to use 1 or 2 or all 3 of these tips to make your sound better, deliver great quality, never ever be afraid to speak on something, especially if you've heard it before. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Let me know if it works. Try it with your friends and let me know if it works for you in the comment section, or let me know what else you use that works for you. See you in my next video. Bye.